Hello everybody, my name is EXCEEDINGSHADOW, and this is just a horror creepypasta of a Pokemon game called Pokemon Lost Silver. This is my Halloween special. Also warning, the video you're going to see is a gameplay by myself, but it's not within the time of the video, so I'm sorry, but it's not live. I'm just going to read it, and it's probably not going to be synced, so I'll try my best. Thank you for watching. You see, I'm a single college student living alone in an apartment. I was very enthusiastic about the release of Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver here in the United States. Or should I just say states for the Canadian people. I have purposefully locked myself out of all media and the internet aside for the second purpose. This means no 4chan, no TV, no Bulbapedia, no etc. As I was busy with school year and being poor at the time, I wasn't able to buy Soul Silver or its launch date. After my school year ended, I ordered Soul Silver on Amazon. However, it wouldn't take a week for it to arrive. I decided that during that time, I would replay my crystal version on my Game Boy Color. However, I realized that long ago, my mom threw it away. There goes my dog. My mom threw it away because I told her the save went dead. I was very upset about it. Then she also threw away my silver version. So all I have is my Game Boy Color as such. I sent out to GameStop and bought a used silver version, and its only Pokemon game left they have was for the Game Boy Color. $10, fairly cheap. I was home and started it up for a nostalgia trip. However, that's where things started getting bizarre, and most likely the reason why you read this. Game Freak logo started up as normal, but it just froze there. I thought the cart would just error or something, so I turned it off and on. The same thing happened. I tried pressing A and start over and over, and all of the buttons, eventually the logo vanished, and there was a black screen for about 5 seconds. Suddenly, rather than going to the usual main menu screen, I was already in the game in previous saved files, which was odd. I was expecting all these carts to have been wiped by the poorly battery. Either way, I wasn't complaining, as I would have chosen the to continue option to see what previous guy did anyways. First off, I checked his trainer information. His name was just a Pacific smiley face. It didn't have much originality. I checked his profile, and apparently he had 99.99 hours but into the game, with all 16 badges and every single Pokeball and every single Pokemon caught. Seeing as he apparently had Mew and Celebi logged also, I'm guessing he either used a Game Genie or was a really hardcore Pokemon player back then. I checked his Pokemon to see what a badass team he has. To my surprise, I saw 5 unknowns and a 6th Pokemon named Hurry. I'm thinking that this must be a cruel joke by this person who last played this game, but I decided to check the profiles of those Pokemon anyways. As expected, they were different letters of unknown, all level 5, and I was a bit shaky with my unknown alphabet at the time, but I identified the words spelled out to be L-E-A-V-E, leave. As for the 6th Pokemon, it turned out to be Cyndaquil. Mind you, this is before there was individual Pokemon icons. The Cyndaquil looked normal, but it was level 5 with only 1 HP left and only 2 attacks, Lure and Flash. I didn't know why they named him Hurry, but at the time I just disregarded it. The most irony thing, was that despite my value being at max, none of the Pokemon he had said their usual cries. just pure silence. Having enough of the team, I closed it. I was parked at what appears to be a room inside Bellsprout Tower. However, for some reason, there was no NPCs around. Even more irony was the pillar in the middle. It didn't move at all. It was just leaning on its side. There was no music at all. There wasn't anyone there. There was no ladders, no exit. At least I thought there wasn't. I walked around for a few moments and minutes, but can't seem to find a way out. There's currently not a room I've seen in the Bellsprout Tower before. I tried checking my items for an escape rope, but the bag was completely empty. There wasn't any wild Pokemon either. Finally, I managed to find a ladder, which turned out to be behind a pillar, and the screen turned black, and the music finally started playing. I had a sudden chill as I recognized the melody. I heard the theme you hear. You listen to radio at the Alpha Ruins where the unknown are at. I immediately realized that it wasn't a loading transition, but rather I was in the dark room and would need flash. Before I took care of that, though, I immediately checked my Pokegear to change the radio to something more pleasant. But it turns out that there was no radio card, or even a phone, nor time cards. There was only a map card in which Gold name from earlier, and I will call him Gold from now on. Now was just walking in the midst of the black. I recall the Cyndaquil has flash, so I turned off my Pokegear and made Cyndaquil use flash. It didn't see any message saying hurry, used flash, or anything like that. The room just became lit. Just like that, I soon regretted it. The room was a chilling blood red with a leaner gray path heading south. The ladder I used to go up/down was not there at all. I had no choice but head south. The screen got darker every 20 steps I made until I finally made it to the end, which appears to be a sign, a red sign which said, "Turn back now." Suddenly I was asked to answer yes or no, but there was no question asked. I chose yes, as I do not know what if or what is asking. The screen went black again, making a ladder climb sound. The unknown radio music stopped. In a few steps was replaced with a not as creepy Pokeflute radio music. I was in another dark room, but I held my breath and used flash again. Suddenly it said, "Hurry has fainted," which was odd since I recalled there was no status conditions like poison on him. I clearly wasn't in a battle. I checked my Pokemon quickly, and suddenly he's no longer in my party. In fact, after a bit of investigating, none of my Pokemon are there, but instead all replaced with level 10 unknown. I did the same thing, and before I spelled out the unknown, my then team of unknown spelled H-E-D-I-E-D. He died. Either way, after the creepy change, the room was lit to reveal myself in a very small room that appears to be only 4 squares big. The walls of that room was gray bricks, as if I was inside something that has hollowed out outside. That room appears to be a bunch of graves, similar to the ones in Pokemon Red and Blue. I walked around in the small room and pressed A, but nothing happened. I've already concluded that this was clearly a hacked game, or some statistic fuck sold it to GameStop. I don't know. However, my curiosity kept me going. I checked the trailer profile of him again, only to find out that the sprite of gold was missing his arms, and he also seems to be less smug, but rather seems more and sad, empty in the way that I do not know how to describe. For some reason, it also now said that his 24 badges, which was clearly impossible. There was only 16 in the whole game. A few minutes of just realizing this, my character suddenly just did the escape rope spinning animation instead of flying though. My character spun downward slowly as if sinking. After that screen, the music stopped. After finally landing, the overworld sprite of gold's color differently showed now. Instead of the usual red color he appears completely white now, including his skin. It's as if he came straight from the colorless Game Boy games, placed in the colored background of the Game Boy Color. I checked his profile, and while now is a white as his overworld sprite. He lost his legs and has what appears to be bloody tears from his eyes. It also says he has 32 badges, which now states and starts to disturb me, as this change of number seems represent something important. Also, check my Pokemon, which of the containers 5 unknowns and a level 100 Celebi without a nickname. The unknown are at the time leveled 15 and spelled out D-Y-I-N-G. Dying. I checked the Celebi's profile. It was a shiny Celebi. Expect there were only one of the sprite. One leg, one arm, one eye. It only has one attack, Parasong, which means dying Celebi. In the area I was itself was the Sprout Tower. I was immobilized from the tower itself. I was extremely scared of what was going to happen next, but I went up to Red, and without even pressing A, I suddenly engaged finally a battle. After this long in the game, this was extremely scary. The music starts again, which it sounds like the unknown radio music again, but played backwards. Gold's battle back sprite matches his front, one of the bloodiest eyes, the white skin, the lack of arms. With Red, sprite was the same as before in gold and silver crystal, except transparent. The text simply said, "Wants to battle." As I went with it, I battled him. Red sent out seemingly normal male Pikachu, except he's at level 255. His sprite seems sad and has tears of his eyes. Rather than the usual fights item Pokemon Run menu, I was only given the option to use attacks. Since Celebi only has one, I chose it. Naturally, since Pikachu was level 255, he went first. Pikachu used Curse, lowering his speed and increasing his other stats. I'm not even sure if Pikachu could use Curse. Celebi used Parasong. In 3 turns, both Pokemon get KO'd. Not like I have a choice anyways. At this point, I didn't even go back to the fight menu, as the battle just continued without me. Also note that there were no annotations telling me at all for some reason. Pikachu used Flail, which didn't do much damage despite his level and post, as his health was maxed. Celebi used Parasong. Nothing happens, as it was already used. Pikachu used Frustration, which did a shit ton of damage, knocking Celebi down to less than 10 HP. Celebi used Pain Split, which surprised me, as Celebi didn't even have that before the battle even started. Pikachu used mean look. Not like that did anything whatsoever. Or did I know? Pikachu was still up, even when Parasong finally activated. Pikachu used one more different attack beyond the 5 attack limit. Pikachu used Destiny Bond. Afterwards, it said Pikachu has died. With a slow face-out animation appeared, and I was a winner. At the transparent red sprite showed up and said, "Nothing. ... At that point, I just freaked out as the transparent red sprite was suddenly beheaded, leaving nothing but his transparent body. The body and the battle then ended at the point and faced out along with the music. I'm back in the overworld with another change to the gold sprite. This time, I don't know what's going on. It now stated that he now has 40 badges. I then backed out and checked out my Pokemon. Then were all level 20 shiny unknown, which were spelled out red no more. N-O-M-R. Sorry, N-O-M-R. N-O-M-O-R-E. Sorry for spelling it wrong. I was at what I was known as text and next to the end, and apparently no music playing whatsoever. I was really scared. I'm still inside New Barktown, I believe, or so around during that time. Gold was not moving as his transparent limbs at all while doing so, just floating like those ghosts you see in Diamond and Pearl. As I expected, the radio, computer, and TV did not work. Nothing was working at all. So I eventually just went downstairs. And when I finally went downstairs, my mom wasn't there. No one was there. And when I was finally trying to leave my house, I just went right past it. I am now back into the small, hollowed out room, surrounded by graves earlier, or at least I said I was, but I wasn't sure anymore. There's no sprite anymore. I tried to walk around. Nothing moved. Nothing even budged. I checked my trainer profile and absolutely no gold sprite left. It said I have 0 badges and all the pictures of the Johto gym leaders at the bottom were replaced with skulls. I checked my Pokemon, which were all level 25 unknown. As I expected, it spelled out phrase that I dared to read, and I was really scared to read. I am D-E-A-D. I'm dead. As soon as I went back to the overworld, the room I supposedly was in, well, covered with the same blocks as the walls, I figured out what exactly that room was when the final text was said, R.I.P. Rest in peace. The room was in a big grave surrounded by other graves. Gold has already been dead. He died presumably a few years after he defeated Red. He was a young trainer who, despite his efforts in collecting so many badges and attempts at becoming a Pokemon Master, was still unable to avoid the inevitable fate and death, as his efforts were eventually forgotten by the next generation. I was unable to escape from that text no matter what I pressed. I tried resetting the game. The same thing happened, at which then finally decided to give up on that horrible nightmare of a game. After that experience, I will never look at the gimmick unknown the same way again. They say that only the first generation have folk tales and legends, but the second generation have shown me how unpleasant the truth can be. I eventually enjoyed Soul Silver immensely, but I still can't unthink what the game has told me. Hey everybody, my name is EXCEEDINGSHADOW. Thank you for reading, or thank you for just listening. My voice was really bad during the time, and it probably still is. I I record this at nighttime, and all I could say is happy Halloween and thank you for watching. Bye.